Good morning, children. Today we are on to the next lecture on P block elements, and in today's session we will be talking about reason questions of group 18 and all possible structures of P block elements. So, first question, noble gas possesses high ionization enthalpy. So first you will be writing electronic configuration of noble gases, NS2 NP6. That is the general electronic configuration. Of course, helium also has 1s2. So you will write they have either octet configuration or duplet configuration. So that is stable. When it is having the stable configuration, it will not be able to lose electron readily. So it cannot lose electron readily. So when it cannot lose electron readily, obviously it is going to possess high ionization enthalpy. So in inorganic chemistry, as far as possible, talk about electronic configuration, right? Next, atomic radii of noble gases is exceptionally large. Even in this, you will be writing the general electronic configuration. You may always write here except helium, that is having duplet configuration. So in this, all shells are completely filled. It is having octet configuration. So as a result, what is happening? Each orbital has the paired electron. So paired electron means there is more inter-electronic repulsion. More inter-electronic repulsion between them, since all the orbitals are completely filled. You may also add on one more thing here, that in noble gases we talk about van der Waals radii. We talk about van der Waals radii. So since van der Waals radii is the largest, in which the atom, another atom, between them there is no overlapping. There is no overlapping between the atomic orbitals, so they are little far away, unlike metallic or covalent radii. So van der Waals radii is considered in the noble gases there, which is comparatively larger, right? So you will write down 2 points. Number 1, you will start from here, configuration 1. Number 2, you will write down inter-electronic repulsion. Third, you will write down that we include van der Waals radii in the noble gases. So there is no overlapping between the atomic orbitals. Clear? If you write down the answer in points, it's always better. Next question, electron gain enthalpy of noble gas is positive. Same again, you will always start with the noble gas configuration. They have octet configuration. Since they have octet configuration, it is difficult for them to add on electron. They already have octet. When they have octet, they cannot accept electron readily. They neither can lose nor they can gain electron readily. So they cannot accept readily. So if it is to be given, it will be always forcibly. So we say it is always positive. Electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity, both are same. That is always positive for them. Clear? See, so far most of the questions we have related with the electronic configuration. Another one also with the electronic configuration. Noble gases are monoatomic. They are monoatomic means they will not have a tendency to combine with another atom. You'll again write down the configuration NS2 NP6. They already have octet. Why atoms form bond actually? To achieve octet configuration. When they themselves are having octet configuration, they will not be having any tendency to combine with the another one. So since they have this configuration, octet configuration, they will be always monoatomic. Right? Noble gases possess very low boiling point. In this you will write down that they are monoatomic. Noble gases are monoatomic and they have no interatomic forces. They have no interatomic forces. What type of forces are there between them? They have only weak van der Waals forces. They have weak van der Waals forces. If not van der Waals forces, you may also write they have weak dispersion forces. They have weak dispersion forces. Therefore, they can be liquefied very easily. Therefore, they will have low boiling point. Right? Because they do not have much force of attraction between the atoms. No interatomic force. Very weak van der Waals forces. Very weak dispersion forces. Therefore, they have low boiling point, or you can say they can be liquefied. They can be liquefied at very low temperature. Very low temperature. Got it? Next, they are least reactive. Again, configuration NS2 NP6. They have high ionization energy. Don't relate this with size. They have larger size. Though they have larger size, they are least reactive. The ionization energy will be high, so they will not be able to, disturb their configuration. So configuration, high ionization. You can also write down that they have positive electron gain enthalpy. Right? Point wise configuration, except for helium you will write, which has duplet configuration. They have high ionization and positive electron gain enthalpy. That is why they are least reactive. Another important question, very important question. What inspired N. Bartlett to prepare a compound of xenon with PTF6? You will write that the first ionization energy of molecular oxygen, that is O2, which is 1175 kilojoule per mole, it is nearly equal to, N. Bartlett found that first ionization enthalpy of O2, which is this, is almost equal to that of xenon, which is 1170 kilojoules per mole. Please write the values also. So since he found that oxygen is having similar ionization energy like xenon, and oxygen can form a compound like this, O2PTF6. There was one compound known of O2 with this. So why not xenon also can form? So he isolated one compound of xenon by making xenon react with PTF6. This was the compound. So what you will write? N. Bartlett observed that the first ionization enthalpy of molecular oxygen, which is this, is nearly equal to the ionization enthalpy of xenon. The value is this. Therefore, he isolated a compound of xenon with PTF6. Clear? Okay. Next question is, helium is used in diving apparatus. Why it is used? This actually, children, you can relate with the solution chapter. Solution chapter, when the divers, deep sea divers, there we have studied deep sea divers, when they go inside the water, the pressure is more. Because the pressure is more in their blood, the solubility of air is more, and air has maximum amount of nitrogen in it. So nitrogen goes in the blood vessels. Nitrogen goes in the blood vessels. So there is excess of nitrogen in the blood vessels. So when the person is going inside, right, and suddenly when the person comes up onto the surface, the excess nitrogen which has already gone into the blood stream is not able to come out easily. So there are bubbles of nitrogen which are formed in the blood capillaries. So this nitrogen bubbles which are formed in the blood capillaries is a medical condition that is called BENS. That is called bend. So in order to avoid the medical condition of bend, people who go inside the sea, they carry the cylinders in which helium is there. The air is diluted with helium. Air is diluted with helium such that the bend condition can be avoided. So kindly relate this with the solution chapter. Now let's talk about the structures of p block elements. So first I am taking group 15, ammonia. For such things, you can find out the hybridization. I hope you know. For one, I will explain. Ammonia, nitrogen is the central element. Nitrogen has 5 valence electrons plus 3 surrounding elements are there. So divided by 2, you get the answer as 4. 4 means hybridization is sp3. So sp3 hybridization, X value is 4. We are drawing the structure for NH3. So this 4 minus the surrounding elements, that is 3, is 1. So there is one lone pair. So when there is one lone pair in it, that lone pair you are going to show on the top. So you will write down sp3 hybridization. The structure is expected to be tetrahedral, but one lone pair is there, so it will now be having pyramidal shape. It will have pyramidal shape. Pyramidal shape, and the bond angle also you'll be writing 107 degree. Most of the books write 107 degree, but in NCERT it's given as 107 degree 8 minutes. Right? So you'll be writing hybridization, you'll be writing the shape, you'll be writing the bond angle, that is 107 degrees 8 minutes, and you'll be drawing the structure. Clear? So next one, let me complete these two oxides I will take together. PCl3. Again, central element is phosphorus. So you will have a central element phosphorus means 5 valence electrons of phosphorus plus 3 surrounding elements, 3 chlorine divided by 2. You got the value as 4. 4 means sp3. Same way, this 4 minus 3 surrounding elements. So 4 minus 3, that means one lone pair. That means even this will have a similar geometry. That is, this will be pyramidal. You will draw like this, and one lone pair. Clear? Now, let us take another one, PCl5. Central element is phosphorus, again 5 plus 5 surrounding elements divided by 2, that means 5. For 5, the hybridization is sp3d. sp3d, and this is 5 surrounding, that means no lone pair. No lone pair means it will be a regular geometry. Right? So that means you will write down sp3d hybridization, no lone pair. So you will write down the shape is trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. Right? And you will draw phosphorus. You will be drawing this 3 chlorine here and 1 chlorine here, 1 chlorine. That means this is the shape. Trigonal bipyramidal. Right? In this, sometimes a question is also asked that these axial bonds are longer than the equatorial. You will write the axial bonds face repulsion from the 3 electron pairs present in the equatorial position. So they are longer than the equatorial ones. Clear till here? Now children, to draw the structure of the oxides of nitrogen, please follow Lewis dot structures. How we have done? There are 3 elements, 2 nitrogen and 1 oxygen. So you will write down 3 into, each element aims for getting octet configuration. So 3 into 8, that is 24. And how many electrons do they have in the valence shell? Nitrogen has 5. So 2 nitrogen atoms into 5 valence electrons on each nitrogen, plus oxygen has 6 valence electrons. So it comes out to be 16. Take out the difference of the 2, it comes out to be 8. 8 means you will have 4 bonds. So you will write nitrogen, 2 nitrogen atoms, 1 oxygen here, 2 nitrogen atoms, 1 oxygen here. You will be drawing 2 structures, 2 possible. Why 2? I will tell you. These are the 2 equally existing structures. Right? So you have to show the bonds between them, 4 bonds. Don't draw oxygen in the center, because if you're drawing oxygen in the center, you'll not be able to show 4 bonds with the oxygen. Either you can have 2 bonds either side, or you can have 3 bonds this side and 1 bond this side, because we have to adjust 8 electron. 8 means 4 bonds. Right? Now you can just complete the, we had 16 में से we have used 8. So 8 more are left. So we will try to complete their octet. Now this center nitrogen is already having 4 bonds. So octet is achieved. So now we will draw here, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Completed octet for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Octet achieved. We will put here, because 3 bonds means 6 electrons with this nitrogen. So 2 more. This is having 1 bond, oxygen. 1 bond means 2 electrons. So we need 6 more dots. We had to put 6 only. 6 plus 2, 8. Put together 8 electrons, because out of 16 we have used 8. Out of 16 we have used 8 in the bonds. So 8 more were left. So that we have just completed as dots. Clear? Now let's take the next one now. There are 2 atoms. So 2. Each one has to achieve octet. So 16. How many electrons do they have? Nitrogen has 5. Oxygen has 6. So put together 11. You subtract it. You get 5. 5 means we cannot draw 2.5 bonds. So again we will draw 2 possible structures with a resonance of it. And then for 5 means we will put 2 bonds at least. And when one odd electron we have to show, in one structure we will show the odd electron here, in the other structure we will show the odd electron here. We have actually 11. 11 may say 5 we have used, we are left over with 6. 6 means we cannot complete the octet of each of the element, right? Because we don't have that many electrons. So in such case you try to complete the octet of oxygen, because that is more electronegative. So 6 dots means 2 you can 4 you'll put here, 2 here. Same way here you will put 4 this side and 2 this side. Now this octet is cannot be achieved. It is having odd electron. So that is the reason why we say nitric oxide, that is NO, is paramagnetic. If you remember, one of the question was given. Let's move on to the next structure. N2O3, 5 atoms, 5 into 8, 40. How many electrons they have? 2 into nitrogen ka 5 plus 3 into 6. So you got 28. If you subtract this, you get 12. 12 means we can have 6 bonds. So you'll open up this structure. N. You will draw N here. 1 oxygen you are going to adjust. Other side you will put 2. Any one side you can put 2. Right. So if I have to put 6 bonds, so 1 bond here. Here 2 bonds, obviously. 2 bonds here and 1 bond. Or I can draw one more possible structure where I have N here, N here. This no problem. This has to be a double bond. In the other structure, let this be single and the bottom can be double. Now we have actually 28. 28 may say 12 we have used. So you can check how many. 16. 16 dots have to be made. 16 dots such that the octet is complete. Wherever there is 1 bond means 2 electrons. So 6 dots here. Where there is 2 bonds, you have to make 4 dots. This is already having complete. 4 bonds means octet. This 1 dot I have to, 1 pair I have to make. Here I have to make 4 more. Right? So likewise you can complete here. Single bond means 6. Double bond means 4. Triple bond means 1. 1 pair. Right? And here also 2 pairs. 4. Complete? Now NO2 likewise 3 into 8, that is 24 and this is having 5 plus 2 into 6, that is 12 to 17. If you subtract from this 7 bonds means 3.5. That is not possible again. So you will draw a structure like this, double bond here, 1 odd electron on nitrogen. You can put this single, this double. Either way it is possible. Now you have to just complete the octet of each one. Double bond means 4. Single bond means 6 dots. And actually we have this 17 message 7 we have used means 10 dots. So 10 are completed. Nitrogen we are not going to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? This is just dimer of it. This particular structure N2O4, 2 NO2s, if you link by N, it is N2O4. This is the structure. This is very simple. You can try this out. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment section. This is N2O4. Oh, one more will be there. Clear? Next. N2O5. Same way you will complete it. You have 7 into 8, that is 56, and you have 2 into 5 plus 5 into 6, and you have 40. You can subtract it, you will have 16. 16 means you have to make 8 bonds. Okay, so this will be the structure NON. Just because of lack of space, I'm just drawing one structure. One more structure can be there. You can just shift this, right? Whenever there is a double bond, you have to make 4 dots. Single bond means 6 dots, and already completed 4. You have to make 4 here. You have to make 6. How many dots we have made? You can check. Out of 40, 16 we have used already. The difference of the two, that many should be the dots. So 10 here, 20 and 24. So 24 plus 16 is 40. Fine. Correct structure we have drawn. Clear? Next, HNO3. HNO3 you can draw, with the basicity also. This is monobasics. You draw nitrogen in the center. Monobasic means one OH you are going to show, and the remaining will be one single, one double bond. Otherwise, you can also complete the structure as I have told you by the Lewis structure. Clear? Now, P4. P4 we know, children, is a tetrahedral molecule. So we will draw 4 phosphorus, right? And like this we are going to show, that is 60 degree. Already we have discussed in the recent questions. We'll move on to the structures of oxyacids of phosphorus. So you'll learn their names like that. First 3 are us acid: hypophosphorus acid, orthophosphorus acid, pyrophosphorus. I have written like that only. HOP means hypo, ortho, pyro for us acid, hypo, ortho, pyro for ic acid, and then meta. So it's quite simple structures. Only thing is we should be knowing their basicities. So basicity for the first one is 1. So you will draw P. Basicity 1 means you will draw 1 OH, and remaining you will put all other hydrogens directly, and 1 oxygen left over, that will be a double bond. Only we should be knowing the basicities. So structure will be easy for us. Next, basicity is 2. So basicities are like this: 1, this is 2, this is 2, and rest I will tell you. So this is 2 means you will draw P. Basicity 2 means you will draw 2 OH. Okay, 1 H extra still left over, so 1 H and 1 O also left over. Fine. This one 2 basicity. So there are 2 phosphorus also. You will draw 2 phosphorus first. In this the basicity is 2. 2 basicity means you will draw 2 OH. Right? 4 more hydrogens left means 4 hydrogens. 2 more hydrogens we will put. And we have to put oxygens also. One oxygen here and 1 oxygen in the center. Clear? Now again next set comes for ic acid. These 4 are ic acid: hypo, ortho, pyro. Hypophosphoric acid, orthophosphoric acid, pyrophosphoric, and metaphosphoric. Basicities for them are, this is 4, this is 3, this is 4, this is 1. Okay, so let us draw 2 phosphorus means draw 2 phosphorus. 4 basicities means you will draw 4 OH. 2 here and 2 here. Right? How many more oxygens left over? 2 more oxygens, and link them directly. That's it. This one phosphorus means 1. 3 basicities means 3 OH you will show, and 1 oxygen still left over, put a double bond. Next, 2 phosphorus you make first. 4 basicity means 4 OH, 2 here and 2 here, and double bond O here, double bond O here, 1 more oxygen left over, put it here. Next one is the last one, metaphosphoric acid. Now when you draw metaphosphoric acid, it is slightly different structure. We will draw P. 1 basicity means 1 OH, and remaining all oxygens you are going to put. This is the only structure where the phosphorus is surrounded by 3 otherwise it is always surrounded by 4. So that is why it doesn't exist like this. Metaphosphoric acid normally exists as either a polymer HPO3 taken n times or a trimer HPO3 taken thrice. These are the structures. You can see this is cyclic. HPO3 taken thrice, HPO3 taken n times. Next structure, children, we are taking 16 group. SCl4. Central element is this. So 6 plus 4 surrounding divided by 2. That comes out to be 5. 5 means its hybridization is sp3d. And 4 surrounding. So 5 minus 4. 1 lone pair. And this sp3d with 1 lone pair, the shape is, we'll draw here sulfur. This should have been the normal shape, trigonal bipyramidal. But in this, 1 is a lone pair, right? So you will make this as a lone pair, right? So now it is seesaw shape. Seesaw. It is seesaw shape. So these will be slightly bent, but in drawing you can just draw this, write down the hybridization shape and draw the structure. SF6, sulfur, 6 valence electron, 6 surrounding atoms divided by 2, 6. 6 means sp3d2 hybridization. 6 surrounding and 6 value, no lone pair. That means it is having a normal geometry, that is octahedral. This is octahedral, or you can say square bipyramidal. It's one and the same thing, octahedral or square bipyramidal, right? Next structures, I've just drawn them to save time because it was becoming very long video. Ozone. You will draw bend structure, right? You can also draw the structure with the help of a Lewis dot structure, or simply you can remember bend structure. In one structure, double bond this side, single this side, or single this side, double this side. And 117 degree is the bond angle, and the bond length, OO bond length in ozone is equal because of resonance. That is 128 picometer. Neither equal to single nor equal to double. S8 is a crown configuration. Crown conformation you will be drawing. 8 sulfur atoms in the form of a crown you will be drawing, and 107 degree angle you will mention. S6, not very important, but yes, I think you should know a chair conformation, something like this. It's something like this. Sulfur atoms, you'll draw 6 sulfur atoms with this bond angle 102 degrees 2 minutes, 102.2 degree. You can write. SO2. This also you can calculate with the hybridization. Sulfur 6 valence electrons. Oxygen surrounding we do not add. Divide by 2. That means 3. 3 means sp2 hybridization. And 3 and this one is 2. So 3 minus 2, 1 lone pair. So you will draw 1 lone pair, means here there is 1 lone pair also. Okay, but so bent structure it is, and one side single bond, another side double bond. Same way here, if this is double here, the other way it will be single, and you will draw a bent structure. It is having resonance. Okay. Now oxyacids of sulfur, H2SO3 sulfurous acid, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, H2S2O7 oleum या pyrosulfuric acid, H2S2O8 peroxy disulfuric acid or Marshall's acid. Now, as many hydrogens are there, that is a basicity. So, 1 sulfur, 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogens means 2 OH. Remaining how many oxygens left? Put with double bond. Sulfur, 2 hydrogens means 2 OH. How many oxygens left? Put with a double bond. This one, 2 sulfurs, so draw 2 sulfurs. 2 hydrogens, so 2 OH. How many oxygens left? First you put double bond here, double bond here, and 1 oxygen still left over, put it in the center. 1 still extra oxygen here, put with the peroxy linkage in the center. Clear? Oxyacids of chlorine now. That is 17th group. This is hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid. This is chlorous acid. This is chloric acid. and this is perchloric acid. Perchloric acid. Now, in all these structures, hybridization on the chlorine atom is sp3. So you first draw basically tetrahedral structure, and you can see 3 lone pairs, 2 lone pairs, 1 lone pair, no lone pair. So this is the basic structure. As many hydrogens are there, you will put double OH first. 1 hydrogen, 1 OH, that's it, there is nothing else. Put all lone pairs. 1 OH, 1 more O was there, put a double bond O, remaining lone pairs. 1 H, so 1 OH, as many extra O's, put with a double bond, 1 lone pair. No lone pair. Regular tetrahedral. This is tetrahedral, this is pyramidal, this is V shape, this is linear. First we'll take this interhalogen compounds of the type XX-, XX-3, XX-5 and 7. So one example children I have written here. If you get this one, see it is like this: sp3 hybridization, sp3d, sp3d2, sp3d3. Simple way you can learn, or you can calculate with the formula which I have given you. Central element, valence electron 7 plus 1 surrounding by 2, 4 means sp3, and difference is 3, so 3 lone pairs. Same way you can calculate, or simply you write down the interhalogen sp3d, sp3, sp3d, sp3d2, sp3d3. Lone pairs 3, 2, 1, 0. Right? So linear geometry, you will draw this one. This is very, very important. You will get T shape. You will draw 2 lone pairs. So difference between 5 and 3 is 2 lone pairs. And you will get bent T shape. Bent T shape. This is sp3d2 square pyramidal. You have 1 lone pair. You will draw either here or on the top. So square pyramidal. This is normal sp3d3 pentagonal bipyramidal. Right? Normally, in all the interhalogen compounds, you will find that the central element is larger. It cannot be big, small. Central element is larger, surrounding is small. It cannot be reverse. Now, quickly we'll have a look at group 18 elements. These are these 6 structures of group 18, right? So, all in one go I have shown you. So, you can calculate the hybridization. 8 valence electrons, 8 plus 2 by 2, 5, and 2 surrounding means 2 lone pairs, 3 lone pairs, 2 surrounding, 5 minus 2 surrounding means 3 lone pairs, so 3 lone pairs have drawn, so linear geometry, sp3d linear geometry. 8 plus 4, 12, 12 by 2, that is 6 means sp3d2, and 6 minus 4 surrounding means 2 lone pairs have drawn, square planar. This one, 8 plus 6, 14 by 2, 7 means sp3d3, 1 lone pair. So we don't draw actually pentagonal, we will just write distorted octahedral. You will show xenon and 6 fluorine as in octahedral, and 1 lone pair you will draw. This one, 8 valence electrons of xenon, oxygen we don't add, 4 surrounding by 2, that means 6 means sp3d2, 1 lone pair, square pyramidal. Likewise, the last 2 structures XeO3 and XeO4. Oxygen, xenon, 8 valence electrons by 2. Oxygen we don't add, 4. So in both the cases, sp3 hybridization. So 4 means 1 lone pair here, no lone pair, pyramidal and tetrahedral. So in this, we have completed with all the structures of P block elements. So practice properly now, children, and do well in your exams.